Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. I wanted to do this video about Jaden Ivey coming off the bench for the Detroit Pistons. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Look, I want to do this video, and I don't want it to sound like I'm hating, but I also got to keep it 100. That's what I do. Y'all know that about me. And I've been doing videos for a while about Jaden Ivey and the Detroit Pistons. It's not because I don't think he's talented. It's not because I don't think he's good or that he's going to have a place in the NBA and have a fruitful career. But I also have to be a realist. I also have to be honest at what I'm seeing. And I think what we saw last season is we're looking at a player attempting to play out of position. And when I say out of position, last year, Jaden Ivey, who played some point guard over at, shucks, I forget the name of the college that he played at. Who cares? But he played a little bit of point guard, right? But he was mostly a score-first point guard, a guy who was looking to get his shot off and then at the same time get his teammates involved. And the big question is, would that style of play transfer to the NBA? Could he be that Derrick Rose style that finds that balance between aggressive scoring ability, some shooting, and playmaking, making others better? And what we realized last season is that as much as he improved, that's not who he naturally is. And somebody who's far better at that is going to be returning next season. And that person was Cade Cunningham. Now, at the same time, they were trying out guys like Killian Hayes, who just didn't seem ready either. And so when they moved into this season, we all kind of naturally thought that it was going to be this pairing of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. I did too. I thought it was going to be a great kind of backcourt combination where you ask Jaden Ivey to be a point of attack defender who's hitting open shots and playing off the ball and playing more of that off guard role. Well, apparently, Monty Williams does not feel that way. He's bringing Jaden Ivey off the bench. And I have to say that from what I'm seeing in preseason and summer league is there might be strong reasons as to why he's doing that. One, you have to think about, can Jaden Ivey defend other point guards at a high level? And I think the answer that we've seen so far is no. That he is not a plus defender, that he is somebody who struggles with keeping track of the ball and his man, moving his feet laterally, not using his hands when defending, and then on the offensive side of the ball, struggling with balancing, getting teammates involved, and not forcing the issue when it comes to driving to the basket. Now, when we come into this season, I don't think any of us expected Killian Hayes to look as good as he has. But the fact of the matter is he's somebody that Monty Williams has been raving about the entire training camp in and through preseason. And this last game, we actually saw that he started Killian Hayes next to Cade Cunningham. And I have to say, I'm watching the game for the third time now. And I have to say that Killian Hayes looks amazing between Cade Cunningham and Ausar Thompson. I think that there's a dynamic that we're noticing that I think head coach Monty Williams is already accepting, is that do the Detroit Pistons want to invest in a future problem? And when I say a future problem, I mean that the fit is not quite fitting. And they may end up having to take sacrifices later that they can actually address right now. And those sacrifices are, can you get somebody next to Cade Cunningham that can be a point of attack defender and can also be a strong facilitator that allows you to move Cade Cunningham off the ball? You see, what they don't want to do is create another Luka Doncic issue where you have a heliocentric offense that's centered around one guy primarily trying to play, make, and facilitate for the entire team, the entire offense the whole time. And so they want to try Cade off the ball. But the issue is, if Cade is moving off ball, he can't have a backcourt teammate who can't facilitate, who doesn't have the timing down, whose ability to read the defense is not at a high level. And so he ends up missing the guy or forcing the ball to the basket, trying to drive and trying to take over in these different ways in a very ineffective manner. Because when he does that, what that means is you got to take the ball out of his hands and put it back in Cade Cunningham's hands, which defeats the purpose. And so now all of a sudden you have Killian Hayes next to Cade Cunningham, and lo and behold, Cade Cunningham looks great playing off the ball. Killian Hayes has no problem getting him the ball, coming off of screens. He has no problem playmaking, having a good balance of shot creation, getting the ball inside to the big men. And the offense looked incredibly smooth. Not just that, but their perimeter defense looked far better. And Jalen Duren's ability to roam the paint and close off the rim looked extremely good. Now, I'm not going to get into the Isaiah Stewart issues in terms of his inability to shoot, but he is showing better ability to attack the basket and be a more well-rounded forward for the Detroit Pistons. But that said, that starting lineup has to probably have one of the better plus-minuses or offensive and defensive efficiencies if Jalen Duren can stop, with these moving screens that they've probably had throughout the entire preseason. And I wouldn't be shocked the way that head coach Monty Williams continues to rave about Killian and the play that we're seeing out of Killian, that we may see that lineup again going into tonight's preseason game that starts in a little bit. You see, the issue with Jaden Ivey is he's not where the team needs him to be to play the role that he believes he's supposed to be in. I believe he thinks he's a starting caliber player. But to be a starting caliber player, you have to ask yourself, well, can you do certain things at a high level? Can you score at a high level, meaning efficiency, not just ability, but efficiency? Can you defend at a high level? And I would have to say that from the rookie season, summer league, and preseason, the answer has been no. He is not very efficient. And so something that we're having to come to terms with is how is he going to play a role for head coach Monty Williams' system that he is putting in? And I think the answer has been he's going to have to be a reserve. He's going to have to be in that six-man role where you can still play him off ball with Monty Morris and allow him to be able to play off the ball and just attack in the way that he seems to want to. Now, at the same time, I think having Ausar Thompson adds an additional layer of someone else who can facilitate, play make at a high level in this starting lineup. And I think collectively, when we see those three bringing the ball up, being strong defenders, having that length, having that size and that physicality, I think you're going to see Detroit basketball in a major way, meaning you're going to see tough physical defense that's consistent, that is able to contain, and as a byproduct, means Jaden Ivey is coming off the bench. But as always, I want to know what you all think. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Get at me in the comment section. Do you think Jaden Ivey remains a six-man coming off the bench for the Detroit Pistons? Do you think that he's going to have an opportunity to get into that starting lineup this season or even begin the season in the starting lineup? Holler at me in the comment section. I'm going to get at y'all next time. Peace.